What is up, pal fam? I am back after going home. After traveling tons of it on, like, I don't know, traveling tons of it and play it at the tournament and just like mass making Countdown to FIDE 100. So, welcome to day 65 of Countdown to FIDE 100. I'm back. Paul Emmanuel Habaradas, aka Paul POW. It feels like weird. It feels like uncoffee for me to tell my own name every time, but it's fine. All right, we don't have enough time because I've been filming this. It's already 9:52 and all the stuff. Okay, in 1988, this is the most notable game. Carsten Hoy. I don't know if that's disrespectful, but no. Yeah, I think it's Hoy because of the names in Denmark, and Boris Gulko. Yeah, it seems interesting off and all, but who would have thought? Let's take a look in this 31 move. Alright, interesting enough, but yeah. Alright, let's proceed. The game begins with d4, okay, interesting enough. And then e6, knight f3, c5, e3, knight f6, bishop d3, b6, castles, bishop b7, knight bd2, takes, bishop e7, rook e1, and then he castles. Boris Gulko castles. Alright. Seems interesting enough to castle all around, but in the Sinkovitz Jakob thing, it was d6, and then the openings book stated knight f1. I think he's trying to go for here. Back to the game. Do I feel uncomfy? I still have like 35 more to go, but yeah. Game continues with castle and then c3. Okay. Going on for a pawn chain. Interesting. But it's b3 in the variation in preparation for bishop. That's in Tarkor Najdorf in 1935. Probably it's gonna go knight. But what's the openings book? Queen c7 and probably go bishop b2, d6, and c4 readying for d5, probably like that. Alright. c3 and then d6, queen e2. Better one is knight c4, h6, a4, bishop a6, bishop f4, knight h5, bishop d2, knight f6, h3, and d5, and he's gonna probably like gonna go here, but yes, if he goes here, takes. As usual, the problem is because this bishop is not on the right one, probably something like that. Back to queen e2, there's rook e8, but the better one is knight bd7, knight c4, bishop a6, bishop f4, knight h5, bishop e3, knight hf6, knight ce5, and he takes it. In the event of taking this, he can go for takes, but I think it's a bad idea to try to take it because you got it. And he's gonna move it, and he's gonna lose. Alright. Back to rook e8, there's knight f1. Planning for knight g3. But the better one is knight c4, knight bd7, bishop f4, knight f8, knight fd2, knight d5, bishop g3, knight g6, queen h5, rook c8, and white's position will be in a slight advantage right now. Knight on here. There are three possible moves. You can go here, here, or here. It's already... This one cannot be moved. Because... it can also probably... Going to move here in order to avoid this mate. Threatening mate if... And... Yeah. On knight of d1, the continuation with knight bd7, knight g3. Okay, I've seen it, but yeah, he has plans on this. I think he is trying to control these e5 to h5 files, and probably the e4, the h4, something like that. But the better one is h3, bishop f8, bishop e3, queen c7, bishop f4, g6, bishop h6, rook a c8, takes, and the position Goes attack to be equal. No more openings book. Alright, back to knight g3. There's bishop f8. But it's in an equal position with queen c7, bishop d2, bishop f8, h3, e5, takes, bishop c2, and h6. Equal position, indeed. Let's move on with bishop g5, h6, bishop d2, queen c7, bishop c2, d5, bishop d5 rather, b3, and queen b7. Threatening this, and possibly going for a doubled pawn. Better one is going back. And then rook a d1, rook a d8, knight e4, bishop takes, knight takes, and queen takes, and the position gets to go unequal. So going back to queen b7, there's knight h4. Okay. Tries to go on here and here. Yeah. b5, queen d3, g5. Ooh. Knight f3. And bishop takes f3. I think it's a bad move, but if it's bishop g7 instead, and then c4, bishop c6, a4, b takes, rook a c8, a5, queen a6, and the position is equal. At the same time, what I've been thinking about bishop takes f3 is this worrying of a double pawn. That's the problem. That's why at this point, if I just like, instead of like probably going queen c5 and what's the good moves? I could say c4 takes, and then he has to go back here. Well, I think c5 is a bad idea, but I don't know. Alright, back to bishop takes f3. There's g takes f3. White's position now is the slight advantage. Bishop g7, h4, takes knight e4, queen c6, and king h1. Interesting. Better one is knight takes f6. Knight takes f6, king h2, king f8, rook g1, a6, rook a e1, rook a c8, and queen e3, and white's position will go in a slight advantage. As I can see, Boris Gulko made a probable blunder or something with knight h5. I have no clue why, but I think there's now a problem for the king. So he has to go king f8, takes, rook g1, a6, king h2, bishop h8, bishop takes, king e7, and white's position will have a slight advantage right there. Now the big problem for both sides, I think the king is already exposed, but this is somewhere to be protected. And let's see how this ends. Rook g1, king f8, takes, ooh, sacrificing the rook. And it takes, bishop takes, king, rook g1, f5, queen e3. So that one, rook g1, restricting the g file. Wow. And then f5, queen e3, f4. He doesn't move the queen. He instead go here. He takes it. If he tries to take it, checkmate. Knight takes d6, and then queen d3, knight f8, queen h7, and Boris Gulko resigned because it's already checkmate on the next move. Oh my, that's like crazy. Wow. Alright, thank you so much for watching POW Fam. Be sure to subscribe and become a patron. Remember at patreon.com/PaulPower, and subscribe to my socials. Links are all in the description. And don't forget, later, POW plays Super Mario Brothers Wonder vlog number 5. That's 7:30 p.m. So I'll see you later at the POW place, or I'll see you tomorrow at the count of the video 100.